Hey there. So you've got this dream, right? Launching a successful spirits business right here in South Africa? Well, you've come to the right place. Today, we're going to unpack what our source calls the keys to the kingdom. Basically, your complete guide to getting a liquor license in Mzansi.
All right, let's just rip the Band-Aid off and talk about the number one question on every entrepreneur's mind. How much is this actually going to cost? Well, you're looking at a range between 5,000 and 25,000 Rand. Now, that's not a single fixed price because it really depends on your province, exactly where you're located, and what kind of license you're going for.
Okay, let's dive into the game plan. We've broken this whole journey down into 5 clear stages. Think of it as our roadmap to success. We'll start with the opportunity itself, then get into laying a solid foundation, building your case, navigating the official process, and finally those crucial last steps to get you across the finish line. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the opportunity. Because, getting that piece of paper isn't just about playing by the rules. It's a massive strategic advantage that opens up some pretty amazing doors for your business. And this is a really big one, a huge perk that you might not even think about at first. Once you're officially licensed, you get access to discounted stock from major players like South African breweries. That's a direct shot in the arm for your profit margins and gives you a serious leg up on the competition. Okay, so that's the why. Now let's get into the how. Before you even dream of filling out a single form, there are a couple of things you've absolutely got to get sorted out. These are the non-negotiables, the foundation of this whole thing. All right, so here they are, the 2 biggies you can't skip. First, you need a SAPS clearance certificate to prove you've got a clean record. And seriously, don't sleep on this one, because it can take up to 6 weeks, so get that ball rolling ASAP. Second, you have to lock down a suitable spot that meets some pretty strict rules, like being a certain size and a safe distance from schools and places of worship. And while we're on the topic of foundations, there's another piece of the puzzle. The Black Economic Empowerment, or BEE certificate. This is a must-have for any legal business. And it's not just a hoop to jump through, It's really about making sure your business is part of South Africa's bigger picture of economic inclusion and growth. Okay, foundation is solid. Now it's time to actually start building your case for that license. This is where you really start putting the pieces together, picking the right license for your vision, and gathering up all the necessary paperwork. And a huge part of that is picking the right license type for what you actually want to do. There are basically 4 main flavors here. If you're picturing a cool little pub or a restaurant, that's on consumption. If you want to open a bottle shop, that's off consumption. Then you've got wholesale for selling to other businesses and manufacturing for all you distillers and brewers out there. All right, screenshot this, write it down, whatever you need to do, because this is your ultimate checklist. You'll need that SAPS clearance we keep talking about, proof of your location, zoning and tax certificates, some specific affidavits about your business, and of course your BEE certificate. Get every single one of these ducks in a row. Okay, deep breath. You've got your foundation, you've gathered all your documents, you're ready to step into the official arena. Let's walk through what this licensing labyrinth actually looks like step by step. Now, this is super important, so listen up. There's a really strict deadline. You can only lodge your application on the first Friday of the month. Miss it, and you're waiting another month. After that, you'll have some site inspections, a review by a local committee, and then the final decision from the liquor board. The whole thing usually takes about 3 months. But hold on, just because you've submitted everything doesn't mean you can pop the champagne just yet. Nope. There are still a few final hurdles to clear, like final inspections and getting things like your fire safety certificates to make sure your place is totally up to code and, safe for everyone. All right, we're almost there. You're in the final stretch. Let's quickly talk about where you can get help if you need it, answer one of the biggest questions people have, and get you ready for that final celebration. And please remember this, you are not on your own here. This whole process can feel overwhelming, for sure, but there are official places you can turn to for help. You've got the Department of Trade and Industry, your local licensing offices, and even online resources where you can look up the official rules. So let's just address the elephant in the room, the question we all want to know the answer to. And the answer is around 3 months. That's the general time frame from when you apply. But, and this is a big but, it can definitely vary. It all depends on your specific situation. So a little bit of patience goes a long, long way. To bring this all home, I love this quote from our source, Mzansi magazine.
With the right knowledge, some drive, and a positive dose of Mzansi energy, you'll be well on your way to telling your story of success. It just sums it all up so perfectly, right? It's about knowing your stuff, having that hustle, and bringing that incredible Mzansi energy.
And that's our roadmap. We've laid it all out for you. The opportunity is real. It's right there for the taking. So I guess there's only one thing left to ask. Are you ready to pour your first success?